economy, it will punish you. If you don't work hard, you become broke. If you work hard, you become successful, you drive in Lambos, you live a good life simply because you worked hard, and then the economy rewarded you. We live in a meritocratic economy whereby you find that you are being rewarded by working hard, and if you're not pushing yourself hard, you're being punished by being broke. And that is what it is, if you like it or not, because at the end of the day, you're using the money the system have provided for us. You get me? You become rich using the money that the system provides you. You know, that the system injects in the economy and such kind of a thing. And that is why you have to understand that the money game is a game that we can never escape. Either you understand it or you fail to understand it. If you understand it, you get rewarded by becoming successful. And if you don't understand it, you get punished by becoming broke for the rest of your life. And you have to be a slave in the system that created this economy if you don't understand how it works. And that is why I'm here to tell you today that we have to sit down as young people and just understand what is really money, like what money really is, simply because you can't work with something that you can't understand. If you wake up today, you push yourself without, you chase money without understanding what it is, guess what? You will spend the next 40 years, you will spend the next 50 years chasing money and still not having enough. Yet there is someone out there who understood the system, who took like 10 years to understand the system, to tweak the system, learn about the system, boom, and he made something that makes him recurrent revenue. You know, there's this thing that normally goes, there's this saying that normally goes, if you give me a tree to cut, maybe I will spend in 6 hours, I will spend the first 4 sharpening the knife. What the fuck, the axe. How can you cut down a tree with a knife? So you'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening it. And this is the same thing with this economy that we live in. If you don't understand it very well, at the end of the day, you find that you are going to the world with a blunt knife, with a blunt axe. Literally, you don't know very well how money works. And that is why I've been in a position of putting myself to point that I have to understand what I'm doing. I have to understand money. I've been reading books about money, watching videos about money, about making money, what is money in the first place, where did it come from, and such kind of a thing, so that I position myself. Hata nikitokea kwenda kutafuta hiyo dough, I'm not going out blindly. You get me? I'm going to where it is in a pool somewhere, and then I use the knowledge that I've gotten about money and acquire it for myself. And that is where a lot of us go wrong, because we think that, okay, if I go to school, I get a freaking degree, I'm entitled to get money, I'm entitled to get a job, you know, I'm entitled, I don't know to do what, to be successful. Bro, the system is set against us by all means possible. It is a meritocratic economy, and if you don't push yourself far ahead than what the society told you, at the end of the day, guess what? You don't get to be successful. As simple as that. Because what the system did is that it didn't teach us the basics of becoming successful. Because the main goal of the system is to make us broke. As a matter of fact, hatukwenda shule ati tufunzwe how to become entrepreneurs or maybe how to think creatively. No. They took us there so that we can be docile. They can manipulate our way of thinking. You know, we can be slaves in the economy. And at the end of the day, if you don't understand how the economy works, you don't have the opportunity of escaping by becoming successful, actually. And that is what I'm saying. In this economy that we are in, we have to train ourselves to understand what is money, what is really money. How can I amass so much of it, and why are a lot of people having nothing while the top 1% are having everything? You have to understand that, you know. If you don't understand it, guess what? You go out there, push yourself so hard, work your butt off, and at the end of the day, still have less. What is it for? And you die with less. You don't have a name, you don't have shit. Simply because you didn't understand what you are actually doing. You didn't understand what money is. You didn't understand how to start a business, how to do something with the skills that you have, of which the schools, the systems don't teach you. And don't expect that they will come and teach your children or such kind of thing, so you take them back to school. That is bullshit. You have to train yourself to understand money, because it is our duty and responsibility to give our people the best life possible. And kama kuna kitu nimesoma ni ati money is not how hard you work. It's not about how hard you push yourself physically. The sponsor of this video today is Unravel the Edges of Masculinity. This is a book that I wrote back in 2024. It has a lot of topics you can explore. As you know, guys, I don't have sponsors in the show. So with you supporting and grabbing a copy, I can be really grateful for you doing that. Grab your copy today. Delivery ni all over Kenya. You can get your copy wherever you are at. If you are in Mombasa, Nairobi, wherever you are at, we deliver to that place. So grab a copy today. Back to the show. It's about how hard can you think? How hard can you do something big? For instance, a good example. A company like Safaricom introduced M-Pesa, vitu kama hizo, and such kind of thing back in 2007, I don't know when. But this idea, it's something that the owner had to sit down, afikirie through, aone, how can I get to make people pay me even when I don't ask for their payments? For instance, if I want to call someone today, si lazima Safaricom wakuja wanimarketia waniambie, you need to call someone, this is you can buy this. No, I just know where to get it. Naenda tu directly Safaricom ni pay, and I get to pay them. You see, that's a system that was set up to a point that it becomes a default system. Now, this system, you cannot create a system like that without thinking. You must think, you must sit down and think. And look, fast forward, unapata Safaricom ends up bringing about things like M-Shwari, M-Kopa, I don't know, Kojohazi. All of these things, ni vitu zenye zinakuja, like they think through to a point that they bring a solution and they don't have to keep selling to us. They just first of all started with thinking. They started by thinking deep. How can I create a service yenye italeta watu kwangu without me trying even to convince them? So in case hauna do, the best option, the quickest option, either ni M-Shwari ama nini, ama inaitwaje, kwa jahazi ama inaitwaje, Fuliza or such kind of thing. Why? Simply because it is the easiest solution. And again, that is why it all starts with how hard can you think? How focused can you be? How deep can you go into thinking of bringing about a solution to the problems that people are facing? Because at the end of the day, without you providing a solution to people, there's no way people can pay you. If Safaricom ingekuwa na M-Pesa, sahi ingekuwa a billion dollar company venye iko sahi. But they started with thinking. They started with sitting down and analyzing problems people are facing. And then, but after analyzing these problems, they provided a solution around it. You see? And that is why Safaricom is so rich. It is a meritocratic society. You give me a solution, I pay you. As simple as that. If you can't provide me a solution, guess what? I won't pay you. And that is just what it is. That is how the economy is formulated. So we have to train ourselves as young men, as young women, to think of solutions, bring about solutions, how we can package them, build a brand around those solutions, and then give them to people so that they can pay us without having to convince them to do so. But doing this, easy kitu, you can just wake up and start doing. You have to sharpen your axe for the first 4 hours or 10 years before you do it. You have to endure the process of making that success become. You get me? So we have to go out there. We have to push ourselves, because as we saw that economy, it will punish you. If you don't work hard, you become broke. If you work hard, you become successful. You drive in Lambos, and all these kind of things. You live a good life simply because you worked hard, and then the economy rewarded you. That is where I want you to understand very much. The economy will reward you for the hard work that you put, for the solutions that you give. If you give a more valuable solution, at the end of the day, we end up paying you even more. If you don't understand how to give solutions and package yourselves, or maybe sit down and come up with a product, guess what? You become a slave in the system. You become an employee. You become someone that you don't have money. You are broke, literally. That is what you have to understand. So you guys, you have to go out there and start thinking of how we can make money in terms of not just pushing ourselves physically, but bring forth solutions for the world that we are in. And then at the end of the day, we package those solutions and make a brand, a business around it. Because at the end of the day, this economy is fucked up, and we have to work our asses off so that we can get what we want. And guess what? I've been having this. Some of my friends telling me, my time will come. Your time, bro. If your time is not now, what the fuck are you doing there? If your time is not today, like literally, what are you doing? There is no tomorrow, because guess what? If you don't aspire to be successful as soon as possible, if you don't aspire to actually achieve your dreams, like zenye uko nazo for 10 years, unasema I want to be rich in 10 years, I want to have bought my mom a house in 10 years or such kind of a thing. If you can't compress those 10 years zikuwe 3 years or even 1, you work your ass off like you are going to die the next minute, guess what? You don't get to be successful. And also another thing, this meritocratic economy actually rewards speed. If you can't work quick, you are literally fucked. You're literally fucked, because people are actually moving. Money is moving quick. And if you can't keep up the pace, guess what? You're fucked. And for those who are seated down there thinking that, okay, my time will come, I don't know, there's no pressure and such kind of a thing. Unless you create your own system. This is a meritocratic system, and we have to abide with the rules. We have to go out there, push ourselves hard until we get what we want, you guys. I hope to see you at the top. Adios.